Alright guys, this is my part 2. We're talking Real Housewives today. We're going to be talking New Jersey. I know we talked a little bit part 1 of New Jersey, but I have some new gossip and tea for you guys. I also want to do my SHAHS of Sunset story, and I just have a lot of tea for you guys this morning, so make sure you hit that like button and follow so you don't miss anything that I'm posting. I'm on my lunch break, so I'm going to go through this really fast with you guys. Alright, first of all, I would love to show you guys the actual cameo that I found. It's posted on my Instagram. There is a link in the description. It's HW Historian on Instagram. I don't know how to post it, this photo on YouTube. I wish that I could for you guys, but I just don't know how to do that if I'm recording. So I'm going to figure that out, but I want to let you guys know a couple of things. We're going to be talking about Jackie and Evan from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I know everyone's sick of talking about the whole Evan affair, but I found his cameo, okay? He was charging like $2.99 to chat and $30 for the cameo. And people are just commenting right and left. And I followed up this cameo with a tweet that was shared, and it basically said that Evan was cheating with the trainer. They live in a really, really rich area. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. Like, they live in one of the top 5 richest, wealthiest areas in America. So it's not very big. From what I've heard, there's only a couple of major gyms in that area, in that town. And that is actually how Frank ended up knowing this girl, which he did later admit, because Frank is in the gym industry. And so therefore, that's how he supposedly knew this girl that Evan was cheating with. Now, I posted the cameo. I also posted the message on my Instagram. I don't know if Evan was ever cheating. All I see from him is a loving, supportive husband. And I can't say for sure if he was cheating. All I can do is post for you guys the cameo, post what I'm hearing. You guys can get your own opinion. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I like Jackie. I feel bad because I think that she was definitely in a very fragile place last season. This season, she's, trying to overcome her eating disorder, but we haven't even really seen much of that on the show. We saw one counseling session, and now we're already, the season's over. So I'm not sure how much progress she's made. I hope for her sake she's made a lot of progress and she's feeling great. I hope that Evan wasn't cheating, but I can't say for sure. I just think she's in a very fragile place. And if she has as much money as people say she has, close to $40 million, through her family trust, let alone also hearing that Evan has his own family trust, it just seems crazy to me that she would waste her time, take time away from her family, time away from recovering for her health, just to be on TV. Because if you're not on the Real Housewives because you need a paycheck, and you're so rich that you really don't need to be a housewife, then why are you doing it? Just because you want to be on national television? I don't know. I just think she looks very fragile. Her eating disorder is flaring, and then we have all these Evan cheating rumors, which they have not died down, guys. Where there's smoke, there's fire. In my opinion, it's just we keep hearing more and more and more. Another thing I want to point out to you guys, I know everyone's talking about Teresa and her body shaming, and I do not support body shaming at all, just so we're clear. However, we saw her talking about how Marge always finishes her dinner. If you guys watched last week's episode, you would see that they were all having dinner, and when Teresa gave her apology, she said, Marge never misses a meal, and people were really outraged about it. And Jackie was one of the people that spoke about it in her confessional, and she really, went down hard on Teresa for the body shaming. And I also posted this on my Instagram, a tweet that Jackie had tweeted about Jennifer. And the tweet said, basically, if you would watch what you eat, you wouldn't have to get lipo every week. Basically, that's what it was. It's on my Instagram, HW Historian. So Jackie tweeted this about Jennifer, because if you guys remember last season, Jennifer had lipo done, and the first couple of episodes we saw Bill kind of I know they went to a party and he rubbed her back. There was a spot and she was still in a lot of pain because she had the liposuction, and that's what triggered and generated Jackie to go on Twitter and to tweet that. I don't like that. And I think it's really hypocritical of her to be talking about Teresa's body shaming when she knows that she tweeted that. She never apologized for it, as far as I know. And sometimes, you know, we got to take ownership for our own stuff before we can really point the finger. And it's disheartening that Jackie and Marge and everyone, you know, kind of forgets their own, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, their own, not their own deeds, their own negative comments, like things that they've said have not always been great. So I don't think it's fair to throw Teresa to the wolves and say that she's body shaming Marge, you know, when these tweets are out there floating around. I'm just saying. Okay, lastly, SHAHS of Sunset. I posted this a couple of weeks ago as well. MJ was on the Jeff Lewis podcast, and this was right when the SHAHS had been canceled and right whenever Mike had this domestic situation. If you don't know about it, just a real quick rundown. Basically, he was arrested and charged with a felony domestic charge. Basically, I don't know if it was intent to harm. It was a domestic case, which means that it was someone that he knew, someone that he dated, someone that he used to be, you know, used to date, someone that's in his family. It's someone that he's affiliated with. So anyways, MJ goes on the podcast and she says, look, I've never seen Mike be violent. I wouldn't believe it unless if I saw it with my own eyes. And she said that she heard there was a third person involved, and that was the actual victim. So MJ goes on the podcast and she says she hears there was a third person involved, and the third person was the victim, not Paulina. Okay, mind you, Dana Wilkie just said she tried to go back and find that like minute and a half clip of MJ on the Jeff Lewis podcast, and it's completely gone. I posted about it as soon as it happened, but I didn't save the clip. I guess, you know, Dana kind of went on his page, did some investigating. She listened to the entire podcast. It's completely gone. And typically his podcasts run about 46 to 47 minutes. And the particular podcast with MJ is now 44 minutes. So that gave us a little bit of a red flag. I don't know why they would take it down, because MJ was clearly defending him, saying she's never seen him be violent and that the victim wasn't Paulina. Unless if that was not the case and the victim is Paulina, because the only other situation could be, one, he has a girlfriend in another home or apartment that he pays for, and they were messing around and Paulina found out and there was a fight and whatever happened. MJ suggested it was a Saturday night gone bad. Maybe they were drinking, maybe they were getting high and doing a little threesome type thing, and something went bad somewhere. That was MJ's. My opinion was maybe the mom and Paulina and Mike were fighting, and maybe there was a scuffle between Paulina and the mom, and Mike had to break it up and something happened, and so the victim is actually his mother, and that's why no one wants to talk about it. Paulina came forth. She had her attorney made a comment to Page 6 on her behalf, and the comment did not give us any information, but it did allude to the fact that Paulina was the victim. TMZ snapped photos of Mike and Paulina and her daughter vacationing in Cabo. And after I, you know, started digging about the Paulina, I found out she was a YouTuber. I found out that her ex-husband is filthy rich. He's the CEO of this big company, and he's known in the business world. And so she does, you know, have money, probably more money than Mike. Apparently she helped take care of him for a while. You know, she was financing everything, which allegedly led to, you know, the reasons for his insecurities and why they fight and so on and so forth. Now, if you guys weren't on Instagram last night, Gigi, Reza, and MJ were out and about for Gigi's birthday. They were posting photos. They looked so cute, so fun. But we have to talk about Gigi real quick. I mentioned this before, but guys, she has her own podcast now. She did a podcast and she interviewed Randall, Lala Kent's baby daddy, and people are giving her a hard time about it because it wasn't a unbiased interview. It wasn't like she was trying to get to the truth. Yes, he hasn't spoken to any people, made any comments, you know, recently. Apparently everyone was trying to get this interview in the blogger world. Dana Wilkie and Up With Adam and all these different people were trying to get an interview, and he wouldn't give it to them. So when Gigi got the interview, she thought that, you know, people were going to be happy and excited to hear the interview, and I guess she's getting a lot of shit from it, because here's the thing, guys, he cheated with 2 girls. Like, that's what initiated all of this. And if you watch Gigi's interview, she's really just building him up. She's smiling a lot. She's flirting with him a lot. There were a lot of rumors that they were hooking up. That's why she was like giving Lala a hard time when everything happened, supposedly. I hope to God she's not hooking up with him. Maybe she is, but the interview was definitely not from an unbiased opinion. She was talking about what a great dad he is, how he hasn't spoken to the paparazzi. I mean, she was just really, really feeding the ego. She wasn't trying to get to the bottom of what the F happened. So go check it out and let me know what you guys think. Make sure you follow so you don't miss anything that we have coming, because there's so much going on in Potomac. We have so much more to talk about. So make sure you like, and we'll talk soon.